tying it in with social media, I think, is not healthy for youngsters coming up.
And I think branding like OnlyFans as empowerment is damaging to the sport.
Okay, so here we go. So first of all, thanks a lot for doing this. Kind of my guinea pig.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So yeah, look, the chat I had with Laura and Danny, really nice. Kind of eased me into kind of being able to do this. A bit shy.
Understand, you're the guy behind the camera, not in front of it.
Yeah. So the thing that shocked me about you, out of all the fighters, was you seem to. I don't want to say the other fighters didn't take their health seriously.
Yeah.
Because obviously you all do.
Yeah.
But you seem to be bang on it.
Yeah.
Like you were saying things that I've not heard fighters say before. Like you understand what certain foods do to you physically, emotionally. Like I don't know, you just seem to. I can't remember exactly what food it was you said. You said something that it would have changed you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. Was I talking about Cocoa Pops? Or was it something healthy?
This wasn't Cocoa Pops.
Oh.
We were out at the...
Beetroot. Was it? Oh, yes. Was it the beetroot juice? And I said it was a vasodilator.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is that?
So, yeah, it's like... it's pretty well known amongst, like, the... I guess as strength and conditioning world, I guess, if you want to put it that way. And basically it opens up, it brings oxygen into the body and it helps you train better.
Right.
So people use it as like a bit of a pre-workout instead of having like your typical toast or something like that would like sort of weigh you down. Yeah, I guess it's just like little tips like that you get, like learning from other people that you can apply to yourself, and they're just like, obviously your training is going to come first, and your sleep and like your recovery and your overall nutrition is really important. But when you're trying to like, you know, edge in above your opponent, you sort of pick up these small things that you can use that will sort of give you that advantage. Yeah. And
you also had like again, I've seen lots of fighters do weight cutting and stuff. And yours seemed to be painless. Like you were smiling the whole time.
Yeah, like I think there isn't a lot of science behind weight cutting. But we all know that it's not good for you. And obviously there's ways to do it. We try and make it as painless as possible. But there's also that mental element of it as well. Like it's never going to be fun. It's never going to be good for you. But if you have a good mindset around it, it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So when it is easy-ish, which I have found the first time around cutting here in Thailand because it's so hot, you sort of just think, yeah, this is great. Like it could be a lot worse, so you just try and have a good mindset about it and laugh your way through it.
And also being with Kaylee.
Yeah, being with Kaylee definitely made a difference. Like she's done it 100 times. She's awesome, yeah, exactly. And you sort of feel safe when you're with someone like her. And she's done it 100 times. When you start stressing yourself out, and I have been in that position many times where I've been like, oh my God, I'm not going to make the weight. And it makes it so much harder, and it puts a stress on your body that you just don't need at that time. Yeah. So a lot of it is just when you see me smiling, a lot of it's just mindset. And it's like, you know, even cutting weight the second time, I knew it was going to suck. But I never allowed myself to say I can't do this or, you know, of course I said a couple of times, yeah, it's going to suck and things like that, but it never crossed my mind to say, or I never verbalized that it was going to be unachievable or it was going to be super hard, it was going to be the hardest thing I've ever did. I just basically said, look, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it. So every day you just take step by step, and that's it.
And you said that you've been working over the course of months, was it?
Yeah.
To kind of like slowly come down.
I guess because like I knew that the other girls in the competition were smaller. Like it was ranging from 55 to 60 kilos, and I'm a 61 kilo fighter. So, and I've been in a position where I felt like I wasn't going to make weight, and that takes a massive toll on you, not only on your body, but like your mental state as well, getting ready for your fight. Because if you think that you can't make weight, nothing else matters, because if you can't make weight on the scales, you can't fight.
Yeah.
So I started my camp like 4 or 5 months ago, because I knew it was going to be harder for me than it was for everybody else. And that did make it a lot easier. My condition was a lot better. I was probably ready to fight, a month ago if I really had to.
Yeah.
So yeah, just starting early I think sometimes is key. Obviously, sometimes if you start too early and you peak too soon, you get over it really quickly. But it was just like this slow climb to where I needed to be, and I felt like that really did help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any more? What was it you said about beats? What's the word?
Like a vasodilator.
Vasodilator. Vasodilator. Have you got any more stuff like that?
Not necessarily. Like, I definitely am not a professional in that area. I have a dietitian and I have a strength and conditioning coach, and I get a lot of my advice through them. So yeah, like little things like having Cocoa Pops before training, like that's. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
This is perfect timing, Simon. It's so hot.
Dab.
Yeah, it's just like, ultimately I think it's about getting good advice, because everyone is different. So like, I'll tell people that I'm having Cocoa Pops before training, and they're like, oh my god, like, isn't that considered a bad food? And it's like, well, yeah, if you're having it for breakfast every day and you're not training, yeah, it's not good for you. But if you're having it half an hour before training, it's one of those foods that can sit in your stomach and it's really light, but you can pretty much draw on that energy straight away. So it's things like that, just being a bit smarter about your food. Like, I was eating all my favourite foods all the way through. I didn't cut anything out. I have had camps where I've pretty much cut carbs like a month out, and I've just looked scrawny and sickly.
Yeah.
And as a woman, that's not good for your reproductive health, because my stage of life, I'm only 30 years old. I'd like to have kids after I finish when I retire. And if I don't treat my body well, that might not be possible, or it might take years and years to recuperate from cutting weight. So yeah, you've just got to be a bit smarter about what you do, and obviously it makes it a bit more enjoyable when you can enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Obviously within reason, I'm not going to go drinking or anything like that, but I will still have all the carbs that I want, plenty of protein, plenty of fats, and go out and do things on the weekend and still have a bit of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. She decided to sit us in the sun.
It looks better.
It does look better, but I'm English and cooking.
I'm getting a tan.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question for you, and I've got a comment. Obviously, like, I knew about Awakening before I came here.
How long before you came here? Is it literally just when I messaged you, or did you know?
Nah, I knew about it before, but I just didn't. I thought it was run by a group. I didn't think it was just one person. Yeah. But sort of looking into it, like, I really value what you're doing, and I think you're doing a really awesome job. And it surprised me that you're a male, and I don't say that in, like, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but your page is very centered around female athletes and not female fighters. And I say that because when I say female fighters, there's a lot of pages out there that'll just take pictures of women that are very sexualized and use that on their page and take advantage of that.
Yep.
And you haven't done that, and I think that obviously it is harder to grow a following because people like bikini shots, but I think pages like yours are what we need to see more of, and it's very valuable, so I think you're doing an amazing job.
I've got to be careful because you'll check me out for saying things. I'm such a softie. But I really appreciate it when people say that kind of stuff to me, because I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing something that's way more interesting than titillation shots.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. There are companies, naming no names, websites that post the kind of titillation shots.
Yeah.
and that's all they do. Completely useless company, and they've got tens, hundreds of thousands of followers. They do put no effort in, just bikini shot, box, bikini shot, and I'm not only taking really artistic photos with passion and love, but I'm collecting all flight data and statistics, and and I get almost nothing in return.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoy it, that's the thing.
But I think
it is hard.
That's the way of the future, and I think the time will come. It's just,
thank you.
We need to get to that point, and the content that I like to put out, and I'm not massive on social media, I'm trying to be better on social media, but the content that I try to put out, I like to have an intent behind, and the intent behind that is that females are athletes, and we are amazing at what we do, and we're just as good as the men, and we deserve the opportunities that the men have, and that's what I would like to see, and that's what I want to. That's the legacy that I want to leave behind in the sport, and I think that people like yourself are helping us females get to that, and we will get there. And like, obviously we've made massive steps towards equality over the last year, but obviously we still have a long way to go.
I think one of my biggest issues at the moment is a decade ago when I started biking, I could tell things were getting better. There were more photographers were coming out and taking decent photographs, proper photographs, and things were looking good, and the Awakening really started to soar. About 3 years ago, OnlyFans appeared, and I've seen the quality of photos just nosedive, because I can see, I'm not going to name any names, but I can think of about 15, 20 fighters that have got an OnlyFans page and they're posting it on social media. I've got no problem with OnlyFans. People should do what you want, but I think tying it in with social media, I think, is not healthy for youngsters coming up.
And I think branding like OnlyFans as empowerment is damaging to the sport, because I feel as though it's like saying, don't worry about your skills and all that. Obviously they've got the skills, but it's almost like you don't have to have all these elite level skills. You can just look great in a bikini and throw a punch, and that's enough. And it's like, no, it's not. I know so many women out there that have got, obviously they're all very beautiful, but are skilled and are amazing at what they do and have put the hard work in. They've got 3,000 followers. You know, and you're just like, my God, like, you are an amazing athlete, and you're getting less recognition and less pay than people that haven't worked on their skill as much as. And no shade to those people that are into that sort of thing, but it's,
of course,
it's just, there's just needs to be a bit more of a balance.
A balance and a separation, I think. I think, who am I to judge? I mean, my main problem is the next generation. So imagine you're, I know what age parents give phones to their first phones. I'm guessing 10 to 14, I suppose. Imagine being that age and seeing, so I could be famous. This is how you get love and recognition.
That's how you get love. That's exactly right.
I hate the thought of that.
It's damaging, and it's scary. My thing, and I've never been into taking raunchy photos, like, not me at all, but my rule has always been, if I don't want my nephew to see this on my Instagram account, I'm not posting it. Even if it's seemingly, what's the word? That's it. If I don't want my nephew to see it, I'm not going to post it. That's it.
There's a difference between titillation and femininity. They're two different things. Nothing wrong with I can't think of the word myself now. Championing your femininity. It's the titillation and being overly revealing. There's no need for that. But you can be as feminine and as womanly as you want in a photograph.
I agree.
Good topic. I'm glad we covered that.
Good, I'm glad too.
I always worry about that, but it's always in my mind that I just think
it's important.
The next generation.
And that's exactly it. Like, you think about what you want to leave behind, and it's got to be good. You always got to leave something good. Don't make it worse. You know what I mean? Otherwise you're really doing it for yourself. And when you do something for yourself, it's good, but you've got to have that motivation to do it. But when it gets really hard and you've got to make hard decisions, you've got to have bigger picture than yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I was literally just thinking, you know Claire Baxter, because Australia. So Claire's been really good to Awakening. She's got it from day one. She's been kind of following it for, I suppose, about 7 years, I think now. And she's always understood exactly what I was doing. But sideline to that, I've always struggled with social media because I'm respectful. I'm doing something different to everybody else. Fighters get it, but the algorithms don't. So I struggle. I did a test. I looked at all these other companies that are my competition that do nothing for society, and they're posting these pictures. So I posted it wasn't even a titillation. It was just something that I wouldn't usually post. It was a really nice selfie. The fighter that made themselves laugh, and it wasn't anything I was used to. Posted one, Claire Baxter. I said, what's this? This is not what I follow Awakening for. And she's completely right. And I've spoken to her about this. But it was a test to see, maybe I do need to do that to get recognition, so all this other good stuff I'm doing actually gets seen.
Yeah.
But because she bit so quickly, it's like, no, she's absolutely right. I tried it. No, that's not what Awakening is.
Yeah.
So I actually need support of people like you. You've been amazing, doing the shout outs on Insta and stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I'm all about supporting people that support me and my sport.
Hi, I'm Amber Kitchen and you're watching the Awakening channel.